now that you've seen some of the riggings and so forth, let's go over the a vehicle recovery plan.
Okay.
If you come up on a situation like we've done today, or you get stuck, or your buddy gets stuck, I've got about a 14-step plan here. If you don't get them all, necessarily, if you don't take your checklist with you, that's okay. But I think it's pretty common sense. But I just wanted to go through it with you. The number one thing, the most important thing, is just to take your time and relax, and try to lose any frustration. The patience is really important. When you get, it's a lot easier to be that way if it's somebody else's vehicle. If you're stuck, it's a lot harder to do. Okay, but it's really important. So take your time. A good idea is to hold a recovery meeting. Now, it's just you and your buddy, 2 vehicles. That's a pretty short deal. But you've got 4 or 5 vehicles, and you've got 10, 15 people. It's really important to hold this meeting and get everybody's ideas, let everybody voice their opinion and so forth. But once that's done, you need to appoint a leader. And then one person is going to direct the rigging and control the recovery itself. When you're having the meeting, this would be a good time to review all the safety precautions with everybody there. Well, you got everybody. A good time to get everybody's suggestions and ideas, because once you start this, you really have to have one leader. You can assign people at a safe distance to watch for certain issues, and if they see something that doesn't look good, communicate that to the person that's in charge, and they can stop all the action at that point. The next thing you want to do is estimate your stuck load. You want to know how stuck that vehicle is, what force it's going to take to pull it out. And the reason you need to know that is because you can't exceed the rating of all your equipment. And if it does exceed that, we're going to have to add pulleys to cut the load in half, or whatever we have to do that. So you need to know the weight of the vehicle, what kind of material it's stuck in, how deep it's stuck in, and whether you have to pull up a slope or not. And I'm going to get you into some more technical details on that, and then just give you some rule of thumbs. All right, so you don't have to. This isn't going to be totally scientific out in the field. Right? Then you want to plan a rigging with pulleys and so forth that'll safely accommodate that stuck load as best as you can estimate. We normally add 10% more for every pulley that we put in the system of the original stuck load. The other thing you have to do is assess the stuck situation. All right, so first of all, we need to know that the vehicle and its components are intact. Maybe besides being stuck, there's a tire off the bead. Maybe there's a broken drive shaft. Could be any number of things. Then you want to assess how it's stuck. Maybe maybe it's hung up on a big rock or a log under there, and the recovery could break a drive shaft. Not that that's ever happened to me, but But in any case, you want to determine if there's any obstacles preventing a nice, easy recovery, and take that into account. And you want to decide the best exit path. Whether it's the way typically it's the way it went into the stuck situation. If you pull it back out, that's usually the best, rather than dragging it through something. But sometimes pulling it up 2 or 3 feet up over the top of a hill makes a lot more sense than pulling it down, unless you need to use gravity. There's a lot that goes into it. Also, the lay of the terrain. Nothing's ever flat, level. And one thing you don't want to do is put a vehicle back on its wheels and then have it roll off. Or say it was a rollover situation. You don't want to roll it over its wheels, and it keeps going. And it rolls a couple more times off the other side. Then we'll do the rigging. Then we'll put a light tension on it and go check everything. This one's really important if you've got a lot of people helping. You might want to personally walk around and check every one of them. Make sure that they did it the way you would like it done, and it's a good rigging, and it's hooked up right. And then explain to everybody what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and make sure everybody knows what a safe distance is, and they're out of the spider's web. They're out of kind of the danger X. The X is on either side. It's kind of like this. So, whatever the distance at 90 degrees of the length of the rigging in his front and back of that. And then at that point you can proceed with the recovery. So that's kind of in essence it's pretty simple. You do your stuck assessment, assess the vehicle, hold a recovery meeting, review the safety, decide your strategy, rig it, check it,